I talk about the difference between a normal downshifter and someone on the spiritual path because I have both experiences. Before I found this spiritual awakening path, I was already thinking and considering and calculating about downshifting and planning. And afterwards, when these things happened to me and I went on this path, still there is so much eager to flee, to have a new life somewhere else, or to go on van life, or to do these things. And from time to time, I try this and that, but let's just directly dive into it. Before the spiritual path, I was calculating so much, calculating about whole van life, first of all, because I didn't want to live in a normal apartment anymore. First of all, to save costs, to work less, to downshift in the sense of considered healthiness, to downshift from stress, to work only in part-time job or something. And I was sick of regulations, of bureaucracy, of all things the state forces one to do. And so many people want to leave behind their country, the regulations, the bureaucracy, the cheating of their politicians and corruption, which is very different from state to state, of course. People feel treated unfair. And that's one reason why many people want to leave their country behind. And that's a normal thing. It's a natural thing that old philosophers say there is something in our soul which knows about justice. And that's why automatically many people as children already behave ethical good without having heard anything about it and without having learned or getting taught anything about ethical rules. They are automatically good because there is something inside of us who knows about justice. And this same thing in our soul also drives us to the thought, I feel treated unfair and I want to leave the country. But this even for all people, or for many, because it feels prison. Many people feel caged from their country just because they have to fill many forms each month or each half a year. Tax declaration every year, fees, duty insurances, and many different kind of taxes for nothing or for useless purposes. And it can happen that even normal people who are non-spiritual go on this journey and really go in downshifting, and suddenly on this physical journey, they experience something and shift also to the spiritual path. But it can happen also after I was thinking of all that, planning of all that already. Then my shift came when I have not started any journey or any downshifting. And then I was just taking rest for 1-2 years still in my old country. And I was interested in reading the Bible, and you know all from my story and from the other videos. And then now let's come to the spiritual path. And for the seekers who are on the spiritual path and want to shift down and want to break out of their country, it's not only my country with the free pay TV, with the paid free TV. In many countries, bureaucracy is growing and growing and growing every year. Whole office system, many officers work there and have nothing to do. They all have their human minds. They are getting their regular money, but they are not fulfilled. They don't feel comforted yet. And so their mind is also seeking. Even normal people, unconsciously, everyone seeks. Old philosophers always said that actually whole humankind is seeker. All people seek, and they seek actually for being happy, but most people are just seeking in wrong places. And the whole capitalist system or money system and school educational system led the people to the work. But it's not only the capitalist system, all systems which are nowadays existing are educating the people to get a good job, to have this, because they define good or lucky life or happiness to buy everything or to have good relationships. But first, before you make relationship, of course, you have to impress people and to impress. So, for example, someone wants a relationship, a partnership, wants to make a family. Of course, the guy first has, in most cases, wants a big car that he can impress a girl. And, you know, money always is involved. That's one problem. But in all other systems, as I said, socialism is all they want workers, and they educate the people to become good workers in the system. But this also makes the people, nobody's happy with that. And so all the minds of all the officers, which I have mentioned, they are still trying to seek something. One even have good innovations to make the state better, to get more tax for the state. They are very good workers, but here they find more and more rules and find more and more regulations. And actually they are making the lives of the people worse, only that this one person, this one officer can say, I have done a good job, I have found a new rule which creates a new tax, and then he gets reward as he's employee of the month or something. But for thousands and millions of other people, it's a new burden to fill new forms and waste more time on filling forms and waste more money for nothing. And so the states work and grow in this bureaucracy system. And it's actually not a political video, because we are on breaking out. And now let's come to the spiritual people who breaking out because there is some trouble and there are differences to the normal downshifters. And the first difference is already the money, because for downshifting or for leaving the own country, of course, we save the taxes when we say goodbye, but when you live in another country, still you are in the same body, and the body, wherever the body is, the people will expect something from you. They say, okay, now you are here, no matter if you have citizenship or not, but you have to pay something. Even you have no citizenship, just go spontaneously to another country. You have to pay the visa, you have to be hotel, hostel, whatever. You have to pay for food, minimum that. Let's just consider clothes, not because clothes you have already on your body and you have some in your luggage, okay. But sooner or later you will also need clothes. These are the basic needs: food, housing, clothing. Actually healthiness also, but in some countries it's even so cheap that it is okay. Or what also is interesting, in most countries or on traveling and other purposes, the abroad insurance is actually cheaper than the normal health insurance in their own country. It's a paradox, actually. You come to another country where you are actually an extra burden for this different country, but they treat you like guests. Some even treat you for free or not too expensive, and some take high costs, but still the insurance is cheaper. I don't know why, but it's okay. For downshifters, it's perfect to leave their own country behind and to save all the social insurances in their own country and instead paying less in different countries. It's super. But still, we have to pay something, and that's why we need money. So it's not about capitalism or against capitalism. It's not against money. With money, you can also do something good. That's why I'm not making political videos. So we need money. And then it comes to jobs. You can't just go abroad and say goodbye to the own country and bureaucracy and everything. You come to another. That's why I have not done it in long term or forever. I was considering it before. And you can find nowadays through the whole YouTube many people who were disappointed from downshifting and came back to their country. But when I was calculating that was 15 years ago, there was not such a full YouTube like nowadays that everyone's going on vlog. So what I have now found out is that many go on paid volunteering. That's a good thing. Volunteering, you're doing something good and you are not earning too much money, or you are more or less free. In some volunteerings, you don't have to work even every day and you are not so much in time or under pressure to stand up too early or something only for money or for work. So in some volunteerings, you are more or less free, but also you can get some money. But even some people I know people who love to volunteer for nothing. Well, it's pretty hard because they have to pay their health insurance and their food, or and especially housing. It's the most costly thing, I think. And so also possibilities here, van life, camping, all these things which count for normal downshifters. But still, one thing is here a problem with the work. Because meditators or spiritual awakening people who are on this path have no time for a full-time job, and they must always be flexible, as said in the other videos. Flexible, in short, because to stay in meditation as best as possible the whole day, and whenever there is the loss of the connectedness, then there must be the possibility to leave everything, to really leave everything behind. Means let go the work, which you're just currently doing, and go on meditation. And later on, you can continue the work, but you must have a work where you are free to do that. And that's the point. Then you can do even full-time work if you have a boss who accepts that, or if you are a freelancer and you are free in your time and you can work and adjust it to your meditation and how your mind is reacting on the work and on the meditation. Because it's always better to adjust to that you can hold meditation and calm the mind instead of adjusting to any company. That is the point. And compared to normal downshifters, they can work in any job. They can take their laptop in their van and they can go on any online job for 12, 16 hours each day if they want or if they like, no problem. But for meditators, it's not possible. Mostly, and especially not on computer work or on something on the screen or something which is entangling the outer eyes so much or the mind so much. So better is here bodily, physical work. But also, of course, computer work is possible, but not too much. That's a difference. It's a big difference to normal downshifters who can go in their van or anywhere and just sit on their computer 10 hours each day. There is one more opportunity for downshifters on spiritual path, and this is monastery. Monastery was always this opportunity. Here, it depends also if the person is religious enough, because spirituality doesn't mean religion, but it can be together, but some people don't like the religion and still they can live their spirituality. So here are differences. Not everyone is made for a monastery, but this could be an opportunity for some. But here, this brings us to the next topic, and this is the social surroundings, because it can be that monastery is comfortable for some for the downshifting on the one hand, but on the other hand, this person is not comfortable with the society or with the religious people or with any people or the behavior of the people in the monastery. So there are big differences. And this also counts for the van life and for the whole downshifting in some, because again, normal downshifters who are not on spiritual path, they have no problems with this energy lacks, with this sensitivity, with anything. They can just sit in front of a computer, don't care about anything. They can just do their normal life because they are not so sensitive as meditators. They have not this energy lack problems when being involved with wrong people or something. And they are also not suffering from what some spiritual people suffer, this dark night and being sometimes depressed, feeling lonely among normal people, lacking people of same path and these things, or at least God or any kind of divine connection. And that's the problem. It is so important to look after the social surroundings, because sooner or later people will feel lonely, especially spiritual ones. If they are on this true path, it's not easy to find people of same interests. And many people who were traveling through different countries on their spiritual journey told me that they were everywhere disappointed and felt lonely. They have visited so many countries in their life, wasted so much time, and still they feel lonely, have not found people of same interests who really want to leave things behind. And they are really rare, and you don't even find in monasteries these people very often. In monasteries, they have their rituals and they have their thing, their lifestyle, but some are even not after higher truths, after God, after whatever you call it. It's a pity, actually. But don't care about the monastery people. If they go wrong lifestyles, their problem. You have to care for yourself first. And here it's important to have the right people, the right group. And the right group doesn't mean any ashram or any monastery. The right group you can also find by accident. Always I found by accident the right people. You can also find them by prayer. You can pray to God that he sent you people. But then still be careful. Not the very first people will be descended ones from him. Just wait, give it time, have no expectations, forget what you have prayed, and then it will happen maybe after a few days when you have already forgotten that topic. I didn't want to blame monasteries or something. I had just my experience in different monasteries of different religions, and I really couldn't find a place where I felt that this is the right place for me, where I will stay until the rest of my life or something, or the next years or something. That's why I said, but everyone is different. For some people with other characteristics, monasteries, ashrams are better. That's why still I recommend them, although I have my own experience which were not so good. What experiences do you have on your spiritual journey, on your downshifting? No matter if you are a religious or a spiritual person or just a normal downshifter. Tell us down below in the comments. Have a nice time. See you soon. Bye.